Breaking news, my friends. The port strike is happening, and I'm talking about it because it does kind of relate to trucking, and I kind of just really like it. So we're going to talk about it. Now, there is a port strike going on our East Coast ports right now, and I will admit I'm coming at this from a little bit of ignorance. I only had a few minutes to think about it, to watch a couple videos and find out what's going on before I decided I better throw my hat in the ring on this video, shouldn't I? I better go ahead and do that. So yeah, we're going to talk about this port strike, what's going on over there, what I know and understand of it, and eventually kind of how it relates to trucking in a way. And we'll see what we come out of this video with. We'll see. Quick apology, I guess, for the last video. Sometimes I get a little bit grumpy and I just have to get it off my chest, and then I make a terrible video for you guys to watch. I hope you enjoyed it, but sometimes I just get a little bit frustrated with life, and then I make one of those videos. And I guess what I mean to say by that kind of video is I am a YouTuber, but I'm a YouTuber with boundaries, right? And you don't cross those boundaries, and when you do, I get real frustrated sometimes. So, you know, you're in my house, have some respect, all right? I think more YouTubers should have those boundaries and say, you know what, I'm just not going to listen to your bullshit. How about that? And then we would live in a happier place where every jackass didn't think their opinion was the most important opinion in the world. Kind of like I'm doing right now, huh? A little hypocrisy over here on this channel. So I didn't have time to write down names for super thanks or anything like that. I just wanted to get this video out. So thank you to everybody helping to support my humble little channel here. And we're almost to that 10,000 subscribers. So if you don't know me and you enjoy the video, subscribe for me. And if you don't mind, then I'll stop asking people to subscribe. Sorry about that stutter. Stop asking people to subscribe after that 10,000 for a little while. So we better get into the point of the video though. So the port strike is happening. Yes, the port workers have went on strike, and like I said at the beginning of the video, I kind of fucking like it. I think it's a good thing. Is it going to affect us as truckers? Yeah, probably eventually at some point, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Sorry about all the stuttering. It's one of those times where it's like, oh my god, this is like kind of big news, and I'm like rushing to get the video out and I can't speak clearly. I'm very excited right now, obviously. So what I know about the port strike right now is they are asking for a 77% raise over a 6-year period, which I kind of fucking like. I ain't got a problem with that. Oh no, blue collar people are gonna get a little piece of the pie again? That sounds fucking tragic now, doesn't it? I hope that works out for them. I don't know about the rest of you, but is everyone else sick of these fucking rich people at the top hoarding all the goddamn money, or is that just me? Am I the only one that's got a problem with that? Now, let me be clear. I do not have a problem with rich people. Hey, you went out there and you made that money. I want to be rich people too. I wouldn't mind, not one bit, except sometimes I can be very impulsive, and if I ever was rich, you guys would read about me in the headlines because I probably did something fucking stupid and didn't survive. So there's no reason for a guy like me to have that kind of money, if I'm being honest with you. But you know, I'm getting kind of fucking sick of it. And like, you know, the fucking companies, whoever the hell's in charge of these ports, not the union leadership, obviously, but they're trying to, you know, a little bit, I haven't seen a whole lot on it, but trying to, what am I trying to say? Anytime there's a strike of this magnitude, there will be somebody out there trying to vilify the workers and say they're not coming to terms with us, they're not agreeing to anything that we give them and all that stuff. And fuck them, they're right. Stick it to the man every once in a while. Get your money. Everything costs too fucking much as it is. I mean, my god, used to be you could go to work, get a fucking job, and you could afford a house and a car, and now you can't afford jack shit off working 2 jobs. 4 incomes coming into a household still ain't fucking enough, right? So if somebody wants to make a little bit of goddamn money, I'm all for it. I support that 100%. It's the world's gone fucking crazy, man. I'm not even that old. I'm not even that old, my friends, but I remember a time where you could afford to pay the fucking bills. Those days are gone, aren't they? Jesus Christ. Anyways, so they're asking for that 77% raise. I don't know how much money they make specifically right now. I think I saw in the somewhere between the high 20s and mid to high 30s per hour, somewhere in that range. Sounds pretty fucking reasonable to me. I don't know what 77% comes out to either, but just with the amount of work these guys do, these port workers, give them their fucking money. Is that really too much to ask? Pay the motherfuckers for going out there and doing a hard job that a lot of us wouldn't really want to do. That's one part of it. The other part of it is they are looking for limits on automation with the port work. So they're trying to protect their jobs in the future by limiting how much automation can be used in the ports. Now, I gotta be honest, I used to be a pro automation guy. You know, I was kind of looking forward to the autonomous trucks that were supposed to take over the roads out here. That way, my goofy ass could probably get motivated to go do something else. That was it. It was very selfish of me, wasn't it? Knowing full well it would have put a lot of people out of work. However, automation coming to trucking, now that I've gotten a little bit older and sort of seen all these trucking automation companies struggle to get their product off the ground, go out of business, all these things, I just don't see it. I mean, maybe, but I don't see it as any kind of viable thing that's going to happen to trucking. I just don't see it, honestly. But that is the fucking problem with automation now, isn't it? Automation's cool because it comes in and does our job for us. Now we don't have to fucking work anymore. Except the problem is we have to work because if we don't work, we can't pay the fucking bills, right? The promise made to us by everybody in charge of technology and automation and all that stuff was, hey, automation will never put you out of a job. It will just create new jobs, new and exciting, different jobs, and we'll just train you on how to do that exciting, new, different job, and you will be financially set still. And that's just not ending up being the case as far as I can tell. You're not seeing us all switching into jobs where we support the automation of current society. It's just not fucking happening. So we have to, at this point, protect our jobs. That's right, my friends. If you've been around for a while, I have turned into the grumpy old man that says we need to protect our jobs at whatever cost because there's no fucking hope for us if automation comes in. What are we supposed to do? The things that were promised about automation obviously aren't coming true. And maybe I'm starting to realize that at one point in my life, I was a much more naive young man that believed in the good in everybody and believed these companies when they said they were going to make sure we were still going to have a way to provide for ourselves and provide for our families. The more and more I see this automation shit, the more and more people I see out of work, and the more and more I don't give a fuck from all the rich fucks that just put us out of work. Isn't that fantastic? How is this sustainable? How long can this possibly go on? We're going to continue to find ways to put people out of jobs. Now one person can take care of the job of 30 people by being the smart computer guy that's handling all the automation. At least 30 people, you know. It doesn't seem sustainable to me if we automate all the fucking jobs. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't want a fucking job. You think I want to work? Hell no. I want to kick back and do whatever the fuck I want. I want to go to sleep without setting an alarm on my phone. That sounds like fucking heaven, doesn't it? Don't want to set the alarm clock. I don't want a fucking job. Absolutely not. But we have to have them. So they're trying to push back on automation in the ports, limit how much they can use it. And I think that's a fucking necessity at this point. Honestly, I think that's something that needs to happen because they're not giving us the solutions that they promised. None of us are getting retrained on how to manage automation and how to repair it and how to, you know, whatever things we need to do to keep it running. We're just getting put out of work. Brilliant. Yeah, that's fucking fantastic. So I, my friends, have always been in support of the blue collar worker. They're the hardest goddamn workers in our society. They are. They do the most physically demanding jobs, you know, labor intensive. Plus, there's a lot of skills that a lot of people wouldn't know how to do. Now, a lot of people say truck driving is a skill. I don't really know. I saw one truck go through the back of someone else's trailer yesterday. First time I've witnessed a truck accident up close. I've seen the aftermath plenty of times. Ripped the fucking tandems right off the trailer in the middle of the interstate, and the guy went straight through the trailer and over into the median, and that was fucking fun. And I would argue that maybe that guy didn't have much skill, but I don't necessarily know that driving a truck is a highly skilled job. I'm not bashing all the truckers out there. I'm just saying it's pretty fucking easy, but I guess a lot of people can't do it or are even intimidated to do it. So fuck it. We have skills. Cool. We're skilled labor now, but I'm talking more about HVAC techs and electricians and even plumbers, sorry, plumbers. Now the plumbers think I'm bullying them too. That's not what I meant. You know, people that can build shit, you know, fucking those guys got real fucking skills, and they are absolutely essential to the continuation of our society, which, not to toot my own horn, as they say, which is why when I do my monthly donation off the YouTube channel, I donate to the Micro Foundation to help young people get into the blue-collar jobs, or at least become interested in them, because it is my full belief that society crumbles when we don't have the blue-collar, the skilled labor type of workers out there. I forgot where I was going with this whole fucking tangent. Oh yeah, I support them. I absolutely do. I remember it was not too long ago that I was getting my truck fixed, and some of my viewers wanted me to go argue with the mechanic about the cost of the fucking thing, and I did what I do, where I get on a video and rant and rave and raise hell about whatever the hell's going on, and said, what do you want me to do? Stiff the mechanic? Are mechanics living too high on the fucking hog these days? Now we gotta take some money out of their pocket because we don't want to pay the mechanic bill? I believe firmly in paying my fucking mechanic. That's not too crazy. So with all that said, I support this. I support this. Let's talk a little bit about how this is going to affect trucking, and actually what prompted this video, what made me get on here. Sure, it's a current event. It's possible this video gets a lot of views. I don't fucking know. We'll throw it out there. We'll let the algorithm do what it does and fucking hope for the best, right? But a thing that drove me fucking nuts, I was listening to a couple different news broadcasts on this port strike coming up today, and they started talking about the catastrophic events coming for our economy if this isn't fixed. And they were giving a timeline. Hey, if it lasts a week, we'll probably be fine. If it lasts 2 weeks, it's starting to get a little bit sketchy at this point. If it lasts a month, we've got a serious problem, because you know what happens if it lasts a month? Here's what the rich people that tell us what the news is, here's what they were saying was going to be the problem. You know what's going to happen if it lasts a month, guys? Freight rates are then going to go up, and oh, no, we can't have that. The truckers are already broke as shit because freight rates have been down for the last 2 years. They're used to it. We don't need the freight rates to go up. That would be catastrophic. That would be absolutely tragic, and I am fucking sick of it. I'm sick of listening to these fucking rich motherfuckers tell us what's catastrophic for us. I'm a truck driver, and I had to listen to some guy that makes millions of dollars a year on the fucking national news tell me that it's going to be catastrophic if the truckers start earning more money. What an asshole that guy is. Thanks, fucker. I love you. Thank you so much for fucking telling us how bad it would be if the truckers end up making more money off of this. And that just how bad it's going to be if these port workers start making more money. Oh, the humanity. Fucking someone save us from these evil, greedy, blue-collar workers that are fucking up the entire system. And we are. We're kind of throwing a wrench in the system with this one, aren't we? I'm taking credit for me. I'm not doing jack shit over here except yelling at a fucking camera. I don't know if we are part of the equation. I should mind my fucking business, I guess. I don't know. But I love it. Throw a wrench in the fucking system. Oh, God, this is going to be terrible for the U.S. economy. Well, fuck. The U.S. economy's been terrible for us for a long fucking time. And that's not related to politics. It's not. I've been alive long enough to know that sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse under different, you know, Congresses and Senates and presidents and all these things. But overall, it's a shit show for all of us. It always fucking has been. When these fuckers talk about the economy, they're not talking about us out here living an everyday life. They're worried that they might not be able to afford another yacht. And that would be fucking horrible. Horrifying if fucking they couldn't afford another yacht, or I don't know what kind of cars they drive, because I can't fucking afford one. I'm sure these rich guys aren't driving Toyotas, right? I'm sure that's not it. Nissan, well, maybe certain Nissans. Man, I don't know. What do they drive? They can't, whatever it is that I could never even dream of buying, now they can't afford one because all the worker bees are out here fucking up our goddamn economy for us. And that's the real fucking tragedy, guys. That's the real fucking tragedy, is it? And look, I'm frustrated with all this already, but I can only look at it as a trucker's perspective. I fucking still, like I said, I support them. Get your money. Hey, strike for as long as you need to. If I lose a little bit of money out of it, I'll still be here in solidarity with you. I will not blame the port workers in the event that it starts costing me money. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll be on here on YouTube whining and crying and bitching about it. I absolutely will. But I'll blame the actual powers that be, not the workers that want their piece of the pie too. That isn't fucking crazy. What we got going on over here? We got a trucker doing some crazy shit right next to me. Hopefully he don't take us out. I'm parked in a parking lot. I'm sure we'll be fine. What was I talking about though? But you know, I'll support it. You know, I look, if it costs us truckers some money for us to be supportive of our blue collar brothers in a different field, that's just the way it fucking goes. What they would like to happen, you know, the rich ones over there, what they would like to happen is find ways, if it keeps continuing to go on, is find ways, more and more ways to vilify the workers, to get us, guys like us, to turn against them and say they need to get back to fucking work because now it's starting to cost me money. They have the solution. They know what needs to be done to make it happen, but nobody wants to give up their grip on all the fucking money, so they're going to try their best to not make it happen, and that's going to be part of the game in my opinion. They are going to try to convince us that they are the problem so that we bitch until they go back to work. And we have to stand strong with the people just like us, the people that ain't got all the money, people that are just trying to survive, the people that are trying to get what is fucking owed to them for the work that they do. There's all this shit going on. Nobody wants to work anymore. Everybody wants to work. Everybody wants to provide for themselves and their family and even have nice things, even spend money on junk that they don't fucking need. Everybody wants to be able to do that. Just nobody's paying jack shit anymore. Nobody wants to not work. I mean, nobody wants to work for nothing. Nobody wants to work to live paycheck to paycheck. Nobody wants to work and then go, oh, I still can't even afford a 2-bedroom fucking apartment. People want to work. I've always said that if you're going to work, you're getting your ass out of bed every day and you're putting in the effort, you know, and putting in the effort can mean a whole lot of different things. It really can. Hold on. Some guy was banging on my door to ask me for a broom so he could clean his trailer out. And I don't have a broom, but I sure wasn't going to give him my leaf blower either. So I guess he's on his own. I don't really know. I could have gone to do it for him, but I'm in the middle of this. So I guess tough luck. Hopefully he figures it out. I'm such a dick sometimes, but I don't know what to tell the guy. Anyways, I guess to get into sort of my final point, like I said, I support him. Strike for as long as you need. Get what's owed to you, right? If it costs us all a little bit of money, I feel like, I'm not speaking for us all, but I feel like we're doing it for a good cause. I really do. Let's get these people their money. Over 6 years, come on. We're talking about raises over 6 years. They're not asking too much. Limit the amount of automation because you're clearly not going to train us in how to handle these things. You're not going to cross train us. You're just going to put us out the fucking door, which people smarter than me obviously knew all along, but I'm gullible sometimes and I believe they were really going to take care of us when automation came in. Maybe I'm getting older and wiser. I'm not really fucking sure. But as it relates to trucking, I guess on sort of my final notes here, you know, I have always said that truck drivers need a union, and I've been corrected many times because the LTL carriers are union. A lot of times people always go, yeah, Josh, but look at Yellow. Remember, Yellow had to file bankruptcy. Yeah, it's one example, and I hear it was related to a lot of other things and had jack shit to do with the union, some careless spending. I don't know what else. I don't want to make any crazy accusations because I don't really know, but from what I understand of it, it had nothing to do with the fucking union. But what I'm talking about is over-the-road truck drivers need one, because when it comes down to shit like this, all we can do is just take it up the ass, and that's all we ever do, unless some slack-jawed hick gets on fucking TikTok and starts telling everybody we're shutting down New York City. Then all of a sudden all the truckers go, oh yeah, we got to organize to do this, and then no one does it. If we had union leadership, well, they probably would have shot that idea down to begin with, but if we had union leadership and union representation, we would have a much organized and unified message, and maybe we would get shit done every once in a while, and that would be cool, wouldn't it? Instead of like finding a leader on TikTok and hoping that he leads us to the promised land. You guys remember all that? That was pretty silly, wasn't it? We're shutting down New York City, and then his little TikTok goes viral. Oh yeah, those TikToks, they'll sneak up on you, baby. You think you're over there just making making a video no one's gonna watch, and the goddamn thing pops off millions of views. Then everybody's looking at him going, oh, our savior, he's leading the cause to fucking shut down New York City for, I don't even want, it was political reasons, let's just leave it at that. And then he's on TikTok 2 days later going, guys, I didn't mean it, I don't want to be your leader, I don't want jack shit to do with this. And then y'all just ignored that part, not y'all, but a lot of y'all just ignored that part and went, no, we're still shutting that shit down. And then it never, nothing got shut down, remember? But it's always been kind of funny to me. I have a shit personality, don't I? I laugh too much at other people. But it's always been kind of amusing to me that truckers are quick to try and organize, right, when they don't get their way about something. But then when you say union, oh boy, do they get pissed. We don't need no fucking union. That's what you're doing right now, but without the correct fucking channels. Like, we can't follow the guy on TikTok that said the things that we liked, right? That would be crazy. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't enjoy that either. Like, maybe this video, I finish this video, and a week from now, all of the truckers are looking at me to be their union leader, and I'm gonna freak the fuck out. And what's most likely gonna happen is I'm gonna just drive the truck home, park it for a week, probably drink too fucking much for that week, try to deal with all the anxiety of everybody expecting me to fucking figure it out for them. And then if I ever came back to YouTube, I would just act like nothing happened, and I would gaslight you guys and say you're fucking crazy. I had nothing to do with the fucking leadership. But you know, I 100% support unions. Yeah, you got to pay a little bit of union dues, and that's just the way she goes, right? And I'd like to see a return of the unions at a much larger scale in this great country of ours to hold these rich fucks accountable, and so we can all kind of get our piece of the pie also. Remember, back in American history, not that fucking long ago, when unions were kind of running shit around here, people could live off of, you know, one job, and people could have a house and a car, and fucking wife didn't have to work. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm not saying women shouldn't be in the workforce. I'm just saying they didn't have to. It was optional. And hey, nobody was, I mean, I don't want to say nobody was stressing out about paying the bills, but I wouldn't be opposed to us having leadership that we pay $12 a week to get shit sorted out for us. I'd be just fucking fine with that. Anyways, I feel like I'm starting to ramble now, so that'll be that. Bye now.